zebra. It's not easy though. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to my subscriber lesson. It's Sunday evening here in the UK, and our local time is 7:57 p.m. Once again, with another subscriber lesson. Dear viewers, today's lesson, grammar and phonetics. So what do you learn from this lesson? We practice grammar, we read, we explain different kinds of vocabs, and also the basic sounds, how anyone can develop. Okay. And amazingly, as I said, the Hallo has policy and guidelines. If you'd like to join my lesson, you have to sign up from the sign up button. You have to click it, then it will take you to the subscription page, which is for 1 month, $10 US, and you'll get 8 lessons. Each lesson has 1 hour duration, and you can learn most of the skills, the 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, speaking, phonetics, grammar, common mistakes, and many more things. Okay, so let's move on. I'm back, dear viewers. Thank you very much for being patient. My lesson started, so it is 8 o'clock in the UK, and once again to my grammar and phonetics lesson. This is a very common question: is grammar needed for learning a second language, especially when you're not native? Do you need grammar? Definitely we need grammar. You can't write anything clearly, correctly, without knowing grammar when you're learning a language. And when you're having conversation or talking to someone else about any topic, definitely without grammar your sounds may be incorrect. Your sentences may be wrong, your expression might be meaningless, because grammar teaches us how anyone can choose the correct order, okay, to choose the correct word in the correct place, or another way, the right word in the right place and right time, to make a meaningful, logical, sensible, and understandable sentences. I use this four words every time because I've seen many times many of the learners write sentences incorrectly, write uh, you know different types of expressions which doesn't give any sense at all, which is not meaningful, which is incomplete. Right, so we need to be careful when you're composing a sentence or trying to say something publicly or having conversation. It could be your friends or family, or maybe your job interview, or maybe any other interview, or any other places when you have the opportunity to express yourself. And basically it needs to be well understood, whether somebody is reading your writing, whether someone is listening to you. If they don't understand your reading or your speaking, which means that your communication is maybe somewhere wrong, maybe incomplete. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. So I'm back, dear viewers. Thank you very much for being patient. So I'm going to share a screen, and today I think we plan to learn both synonyms and antonyms and the appropriate. So let's crack on it. Welcome once again, dear viewers. If you haven't seen me before, if you haven't met me before, this is Rahat Ali, a part-time Hello teacher from England. Okay, guys, and if I was not born here, I migrated here quite a long time ago, that is 17 years ago. So it's pretty long time, and I've been teaching on this app as a part-time teacher, especially English grammar, spoken English, IELTS strategies, as well as basic British IPA. So today our plan is to find out synonym and antonym of these words, because this is one of the ways how you can develop your vocab, how you can make sentences, and how you can use the sentences in your conversation and maybe in your writing. It could be an academic writing or professional writing, or maybe the writing related to your homework or maybe exam. Or if you're planning to sit for the IELTS exam, sometimes you need to talk, especially in speaking section. uh, Task 2 in a cue card, you need to make sentences, or if you're in the reading section in a task 1, task 2, you need to write those words correctly. So let's move on. The word is dry. All right, so guys, remember, dry is spelled D-R-Y, and Y is called semi-vowel. The reason is that in many cases Y is sound like I, letter I, which is why it is called semi-vowel. Okay, and there are other words that have got Y in their spelling and we pronounce it I. Let me give you the examples, like symphony. Okay, mysterious. Okay, mysterious. Or mystery. um, Possibly there are more words, but I've just given 2 examples. So dry, what kind of word it is, guys? Let's find out. Dry. Dry is an adjective. Can you use it as a verb? Possibly we can. Yes, dry is a verb. Dry is an adjective. So the greatest rule about the using it as an adjective is that for every adjective there must be a verb before it. Okay, it can be used also as a noun. All right, like you said, dry weather. Are you going to the dry cleaner? Or dry my clothes? So dry my clothes, we have used dry as a verb. It's a dry weather. It's a dry weather. Here dry is noun. The weather is dry. Here dry is adjective. Okay. So what is the synonym here in this word? Dry, barren, wet, sterile, arid. Okay, let us find out the other meanings. Barren means maybe dry. Yes. Barren is the synonym of dry, and wet is the antonym or opposite of dry. So depending on the context, this word dry is noun, adjective, and verb. So remember guys, what is called verb? Verb is an action word that helps, explains, and also that sometimes, you know, it's related with other words. Okay. So sterile. What does sterile means? Sterile is also an adjective. It means unable to produce young, unable to produce plants or crops. In medicine, we use sterile products like injections, ointment, creams. Okay. And also when it is used for humans, we can say this person is sterile. Especially, I know sometimes some women may have problem, so we can say sterile women. Okay. Sterile has got another, amazing meaning. It's called imaginations. Having no imaginations or new ideas or energy, we call them sterile as well, like a sterile argument. Okay, so look at this different words how we have used in this sentence: sterile, then also arid. Fourth choice, what does arid means? Arid, there is a diphthong in it. Arid, very dry, without enough rain for plants. So remember guys, dry, barren, synonyms, wet, antonym, sterile, synonyms, arid, synonyms. So synonyms are those, once again, for the layman's, which have got the similar meaning, and antonyms are those words which have got the opposite meaning. Okay, so I've given the examples depending on the context. Dry could be noun, adjective, and verb. I'm giving the example one more time. Dry as a verb. Dry the clothes. Adjective. Oh, the land is dry today because there is no rain. Noun. Would you like to go to the dry cleaner to get it washed? Okay, guys, so let's move on to the next word. Win. W-I-N. Win-win situation. Have you ever heard win-win situation? So win is a verb. Okay. To achieve first position and or get a prize in competition, election, fight. So when you're the first person to achieve, we call you are the winner. And win is the verb we use. Some examples. Which year was it that won the World Cup? Now, win is a verb and the past tense is won. Remember, the reason for using this word in past tense, same as sound is win, won, and won. Okay. Now, what does win mean? As I've explained, to achieve something as the first person in a competition, in exam, in election, in fight, or any other competition where if you are declared as the winner. Okay. So the second example is, who is winning today in this match, cricket match or football? This is the third medal she has won this season. Okay. This is the who won the men's finals in the Open. If this government win the next election, I'm leaving the country. These are some of the examples got. Everyone likes the winning. Everyone likes winning an argument. Okay. So opposite of win, earn. Earn means achieve. Lose, LOS, get, gain. So which one is the synonym, guys, in this case? Earn, possibly. Lose is opposite. You're losing, you're winning. Get and gain. Get and gain is almost similar meaning. Okay, no pains, no gains. For example, there's a great proverb that we use very often. And I remember I posted a test today in Facebook. Every pain is a good lesson for you, and every lesson changes you. You see, that is a very amazing test, though. So, win and opposite is lose. Get and gain is almost similar meaning. Let me see if we can make more words from win. Win out, group verb, phrasal verb, to succeed after a lot of difficulty. Okay, it's sometimes difficult to win out and achieve your success. Success doesn't come overnight. It takes time, hard work, consistency, and focusing on your plans. All right, and another example is a more cautious approach, one out the end, or one out in the end. So, win out, let me write the phrasal verbs. To succeed after hard work. or lot of difficulty. Okay. If you remember, I used at the beginning, win-win situation means when you have the chance to win something 50%, we call in that case win-win situation. That means there is still chance for you to win in any situation for 50%. Okay, and now, so the antonym of win is lose. Okay, let's move on to the next word. Past. All right, let me see the past. The phonemes, yeah. Past. It can be used as a preposition as well as an adverb. So, dear viewers, remember there is a sound differentiation of this word past. In British IPA, it is a longer sound, but in the American IPA, if you can watch it, you see, let me make it colored so that you can understand. This is the American one. Where is the color gone? Oh, this is not a good color though. Now, if you can see it, red color is the American IPA. Past, they said, and we in the UK we say past. Remember, pronunciation is sometimes factor to pronounce the word correctly. I think let me take the color off. Okay, now look at the difference, guys. And in the UK, we say R sound, not S sound. Past. Next. Future. Present. Before. So what does past mean, guys? Once again. Past means something has gone. Okay, if you use as a preposition, it is in or to a position that is further than a particular point. Like, I live on a station road just past the post office. Three boys went past us on mountain bikes. Was the Peter who just jogged past in those bright pink shorts? She walked right past me without noticing me. As the battleship sailed past, everyone on deck waved. Back in the 1960s, he had the hair down past the shoulders. The police car drove past at a terrific speed. The demonstration formed a solid wall to stop the police from getting past them. Okay, so past means also something happened in earlier time. So which is like adjective, like it's a past matter. So where are we bringing this matter now? Okay, and I've been walking 3 miles a day for the past 30 years. I've been learning English for the past, I should say, 25 years, since my childhood. So this is another example as an adjective. Depending on the context, one word may have different meaning, and we got to be careful how we use it. So once again, past, British IP, past, American IP. So past, next, future, present, before. So opposite of past is present, and the synonym of past is before. Okay, let's move on to the next word, sick. It's very easy peasy for everyone, easy peasy lemon squeezy, or we say very often this expression, easy peasy orange squeezy. You can squeeze the orange easily, or lemon. Okay, when something is easier, you can compare this expression, easy peasy lemon squeezy, or easy peasy orange squeezy. Okay, so welcome everyone once again. If you're watching silently, thank you very much, and do not forget to touch the heart shape symbol. Even if you're a silent watcher, you can always, any teacher, any live streamer, it doesn't cost you anything. If you're watching from the mobile, the heart shape symbol is the top. Just touch it once. If you're watching from the laptop, desktop, tablet, or any other device other than mobile, this heart shape symbol is at the bottom right hand corner. So just touch it once to support me. Okay, guys. So let's move on to the next word, which is sick. What does sick mean? Unwell. Sick, what kind of word it is? It's an adjective. So when someone is not well, physically or mentally ill, or not well or healthy, we can say sick. Like a sick child, a sick cow. My father has been off sick for a long time. Anyone who could hurt a child like that must be sick. The old woman was taken sick, or fell sick, or took sick. Sarah called in sick, or Sarah reported sick. And this is very common, expression in the UK, sick call. I'm making a sick call because I'm not feeling well. In the morning, you call to your office before 55 minutes. Hi, boss, I'm not feeling well. I'm feeling sick. Though we don't use ing after feel, but in some cases, we can use it in the conversational English. Remember, dear viewers, in conversational English, we use lots of things which we don't use or never use in written English, like idioms, okay? And we don't use in written English, but we use in conversational English, like informal expression like what's up, wanna, gonna, hapta, gotta, but we don't use in written English. It is not wise to use them in a written English. So sick is an adjective and ill is synonyms. Patient, sorry, well. Well is the antonym. Okay. There are some expression with sick as well. Let us find out. I'm sick of something. Like very often I heard that many couples said, I'm sick of you. I'm sick and tired of you. Okay? I'm sick and tired of you, of something. It means that I'm have experienced a lot bad things from you, which is why I'm annoyed. Okay? So I've got another question. Can you make this sick as a verb? Possibly. Sicken. Sicken is a verb. Sicken. Okay, yeah, we can make it a verb, and this E is schwassen, sicken. Like, the child sickened and died. You look feverish. Are you sickening for something? This is another expression. And it's a sickening matter that many people do not pay attention for the COVID guidelines. Here, the sickening means is an adjective, okay, or a gerund. This gerund, if you remember, when you use ing with a verb and it becomes gerund, and when we call gerund, when this verb works as a noun or adjective, we call them gerund. Like it's a gerund, extremely unpleasant and causing you to feel shock and anger. You see, it's a sickening matter that people do not follow the COVID guidelines. So this is an example. So sicken is the verb. And sick of you, or sick and tired of you, or something. Okay, and sickening is the adjective as well. Sick is adjective. Sicken is another adjective. Okay, that's cool, guys. See, you can see now from one word, there are many words we have just got it, and we have to use it. Remember, once again, when you learn any word, any new word, try to find out what kind of parcel base it is, and try to make sentences. And obviously, you'll be, learning a lot. Okay, let's move on to the next word. Cautious. Cautious. If you remember, I had conducted a lesson about the adjectives and adverbs, how you can understand whether it's a word is adjective or adverb. And if a word has OUS at the end, definitely it's an adjective. Okay, so cautious is an adjective. What does it mean, guys? So look at the choices: fussy, reckless, nervous, careful. So let's find out. Cautious. Cautious. Okay, my guy. So cautious is an adjective. It means careful. Like he's a cautious driver. I'm a cautious person about what's happening in my surrounding environment. And other synonyms are careful, safe, better safe than sorry. It's probably nothing more than a headache, but we'll ward a round of tests. Better safe than sorry. That's an expression related to cautious. So what does fussy mean, guys? Fussy. Fussy. Let's find out. Fussy.
Fussy.
So in English, fussy is another adjective. It means when somebody's not satisfied. Somebody's not satisfied about any standard, any service, or any other kind of product, then the person may be called as fussy. Like, there are many fussy patients in our hospital who are not happy at all. There are many fussy customers who went to the supermarket and complained about the product. Oh, uh, Jim is such a fussy person. He always complains about anything he buys. Or, oh, you're so fussy about the house. Everything has to be absolutely perfect. Oh, I'm still single because you're too fussy. That's the problem, you see. Some people always express this in that way. So, cautious adjective, fussy is not satisfied. Reckless. What does reckless mean? Reckless also carelessness, okay? Reckless. Reckless driving. We use it very often in the UK.
Reckless.
So reckless means doing something dangerous, not worrying about the risk and possible results, especially driving. You're a reckless driver. You've got to be careful about your reckless driving. And the synonym of reckless is foolhardy. Okay?
Foolhardy.
Foolhardy. Okay. Foolhardy means brave in a silly way, taking unnecessary risk. So next word is reckless. Nervous. What does nervous mean? That is a very common word for us. We become nervous when it's a matter of public speaking, when you're trying to talk to someone else. Very often, you become nervous. But nervous background is a medical term. Nervous background. Nervous.
Nervous.
Nervous. So what does it mean? Worried and anxious. It's another adjective. Do you feel nervous during exams? Do you get nervous during exams? Oh, I was too nervous to speak publicly a few years back, but I'm not nervous anymore. She's always been nervous around dogs. I was very nervous about driving again after the accident. He had a nervous disposition, or you can say he was a nervous disposition. Both are correct. Hey, Dr. Indominus, welcome. Sorry, I didn't notice that you were here. Are you okay to join? Thanks for coming back after a while. It's my pleasure to see you. I know that you're a quite busy person, possibly you're on call tonight as well. Hey, Dr. Mesh. Can you hear me? Dr. Mesh, are you there? I can hear you. Uh, okay, let me invite you one more time. I can't hear you, Dr. Mesh. I can't hear you. Okay, my sound is working perfect. No, you're not. I can't hear you. Would you like to restart your app possibly? Okay.
Hello, teacher. What about now? Am I audible?
You're perfectly all now. Thanks for
Okay.
joining. How are you
Right.
doing today?
I'm doing great, teacher. How about you?
I'm always fantastic.
Yeah, I'm actually cold tonight as well. I'm driving to the hospital.
I guess so. All right. So, are you driving at the moment?
Yes, sir, I'm driving.
So, can you see the vocab cautious? You got to be cautious in driving.
I have to, definitely.
You have to be cautious, you know. All right. So, are you at night duty tonight?
Hopefully, I just got a call from the hospital that I'm supposed to come to that. So, yeah, I think there are no doctors tonight, and I have to work for the entire night until 3 a.m. tomorrow morning.
3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wow,
Yeah, that's a very long time that I have to stay in the hospital.
that's pretty cool. You know, this profession, being a doctor, is one of the noble professions because you guys always sacrifice your private life, your time, your other
Probably.
duties to
It's
focus.
very risky to get married.
Yeah, your your wife wouldn't be happy that you have to go every time when there's a call. Hi, Dr. Mash, we need your help. Would you like to come, please?
That's
Then
right.
this is one of the reasons in the UK why doctors don't get married.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's very common in most of the Western countries.
Yeah, and today I was discussing this important information in one of the live streams, and how many types of marriages are accepted in the UK. I'm sure, Dr.
Oh,
Mash, you must be aware. There are basically three kinds of marriages are accepted in the UK. I don't know about the other Western countries. The first one is, straight marriage, like boy to girl or girl to boy, vice
mm,
versa. And the second
okay.
one is the gay marriage, a male to another male adult, both should be okay. And the third
Okay.
one is the lesbian marriage, a girl to a girl, matured girl to another matured girl. And it
Yeah.
was really controversial for over the last, I think, 10 years, until and unless court gave the government to pass this law that they're also people, their marriage should be accepted. I think it was maybe 2018. I can't remember exactly. I might be mistaken. Then many people become happy about the decision of the court that now they can marry to anyone. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And honestly, it happened, out when this law was passed, next day, or maybe within a short time, we found that many people are getting married, gay marriage, lesbian marriage. And you know the reason why? Later, court,
No.
when they went to the registry office, marriage registry office found out the reason, because they were illegal immigrants. Now they need to be legal. After getting married to a British citizen, anyone can be
Oh
legal.
my gosh. I think that's a very good chance for them.
It is indeed, it happened. But when the law was established, they said that no, it is not the way that you have to be legal. It is really you love each other. But anyway,
Yeah.
it is difficult to prove that they don't love each other, okay? Because they prove that we are lovers, we like to get married. And also, as you know, the UK immigration law is that when you get married to any person, you can apply your residency for the partner after 3 years. Okay,
Oh,
it is
okay.
not easy and straight away though. So next day they have to declare all the documents to the home office, which deals all the immigration, passport, death, births, and you need to support all the documents, supporting documents that you have to get marriage certificate from the local. We call it council, which is under every borough there is a council. Okay, like
Oh,
like if I live in Essex, there may be 3 or 4 councils. So you have to find out under which council you are, and you have to inform the council, look, we are getting married. And then they said, yeah, you have to come this time and bring 2 evidence, like 2 people from the girls side or boys side, whatever, or both of the girls side or both of the boys side, so that they can testify that, yeah, they're the married, and they have to sign the documents.
oh my gosh. Okay, that's very common in Canada too. I mean, recently there were some things taking place in the borders to
Hmm.
United States. I mean, there are a group of people, so the illegal migrants who came to Canada, they're marrying these people for money. And
Hmm.
soon after they get married, they can apply for their permanent residency. So after getting their permanent residency, they're divorced.
That's right. It happens here as well. These are the loopholes of the laws, and people can
Yeah,
easily avail of that loopholes as an opportunity to develop or to take the next step.
exactly. Good for them, but bad for the government.
That's right. And also the future generation. Picture it: if boys get married to another boy, or a girl gets married to another girl, there wouldn't be any future generation for the humans. You know, there is a
Yeah,
risk
that's true too.
factor if for the human civilization. But yet there are lots of protests were done before they were finalized by the court, and people said that, look, this is the an indirect impact of the human extinction.
Exactly, yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, and let me share another data. I'm sure you may be aware of that. In the UK, around 60% of the working people are women. Okay, so our working
Oh
class
my
people are
gosh.
60% are boss. Most of the places, whenever you go, if you come, I'm sure you're coming, you'll find that in many places, women are the boss. And now, when a woman works for a company or for an organization, sometimes they can't manage to get married. Okay, there are
Oh,
few reasons behind it. Number one reason, they become maybe a little bit elderly or aged and can find a suitable partner. Okay,
yeah.
sometimes they're worried about their beauty, their good looking attractiveness, and
Okay.
the other 40% people is male. Now what happens basically, as I said, among 60% working women, now 30% are lesbian. Among the 40% of working male, 20% are now how much remaining. So women are more than men. So which is why it is not difficult man to find out a female partner easily.
Exactly. I think that's something very complex when you talk about that particular situation. It's very hard to fathom what's really happening in most Western countries.
It is, yeah, that's why, what happens sometimes, the nature takes the revenge, you know.
Exactly, yeah, that's true.
If you believe in this theory that nature has a theory to make the balance of the civilization, it could be the humans, or it could be the plants, or it could be the other animals, you know,
That's right, yeah.
like the tsunami comes, like COVID came, and many other disaster happens, natural calamities, we call them.
Yeah,
It
that's true.
started from the day one of the civilization, when the human race started, growing more and spreading all over the planets, and that is the reality.
That's right, yes. That makes a lot of sense, I would say.
All right, and also someone is talking about, also LGBT. I'm sure you know that, yeah, Dr. Umesh. Yeah,
Ex- Exactly, teacher, yeah.
LGBT. So the same rule is applicable for them, LGBT. So lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender.
Yeah.
So
I
they.
mean, like,
Mhm.
I was in a live stream a couple of minutes ago, and there was a very big debate and kind of fight taking place in the open section about women's rights.
Uh, yeah, it happened last night as well. I was in a live stream. I was shocked the way male and female, and there was a teacher as well, master teacher from the USA.
Oh my gosh.
Controversy, dispute, and unfolding the way they're talking. Honestly, looks like they're going to attack to each other on the live stream.
Yeah, exactly. Best part is like they're learning so many vocabularies from there. I mean, I never heard those words before, but there was one guy, a linguistic professor, using hello, and he's in the student was using some really new vocabularies which I've never heard before, and students are learning from that.
Do you remember which live stream it was?
Not really. I mean, it was a random live stream which I hope on, and I was having a very good conversation, and I got to know that guy's from the US, and he's a linguistic professor from Yale University, and he's extremely knowledgeable. And yeah, he explained the tactics, tips, and tricks how usually students do, and he was like elaborating his research skills and how English language formed in the US and like total differences, the dialects, way of speech, all these things. And at a sudden, like there was a discussion taking place about women's rights, and he usually blew all of them away, and most of the people were speechless. I mean, I'm so like surprised to see someone like that in Hello. I would believe he's supposed to be in the teachers section, but he's quite good that he's in the student section. I mean, he's open to everyone.
Do you remember by his name by any chance? Was it master teacher? It's a very
No, I
deep
mean,
voice.
no, his voice is very calm and quiet. I mean, he's not that old. He was in the. I mean, he opened his camera. He's not. He don't look so old, but I mean, like his name is really long. I mean, it's just more like a made name. I mean, not a natural or real name.
Okay. And was he white or black?
He was a black person.
I'm sure it's the same person, master teacher. He has a degree from Yale University in linguistics. He's a very knowledgeable
Uh,
person. When he
uh,
joined on this app, he was a teacher, honestly, Professor, Dr.
yeah,
Mash. So
mhm.
he couldn't give much time, but he used to train a lot of other teachers on this app last year when he joined.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
but
Yeah, but yeah.
mm,
But he just told me he have never been in this application. I mean, that's his first, and he's in level one.
oh, so it could be someone else then in that case. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Even I got my results from my OET mock exams, the trial test that I had to face the films continuously.
Yeah. How was it?
It was quite good. I mean, overall 390 out of 5, no, 490 out of 500.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome, Dr. Mahesh.
Probably a better choice, I would say.
Yeah. So when we are going to have a party, tell me, please.
Buddy, hopefully, maybe in the future.
Okay. By the way, what's your plan to come to the UK? Is it in March or January? You said.
Hopefully, yeah, like I have got my university admission as well, and yeah, and every documents have been clarified. The only problem is to fly from Sri Lanka because borders in Sri Lanka Omicron stuff.
Oh, yes.
So
Sorry
that's
to hear that.
yeah. Once again, after I elaborate everything, everything just changed back down
But
unexpectedly.
there might be another way, Dr. Mash. I was thinking if you fly from Sri Lanka to Bangladesh and book the flight from there, because there is no problem from Bangladesh or India or Pakistan, the surrounding
Uh,
countries, you know.
mhm. Yes, teacher. Like I'm planning to fly from Sri Lanka to Canada because I
Mhm.
have the emergency permit from the Canadian government to travel there. Because being
Okay.
a healthcare worker and serving for the government, I have got the permit after all, and I got the permit recently.
Oh,
So I think I can fly to Canada and come to the UK directly without any hindrance.
that would be great, but it will be long journey and long expense for your travel cost.
Yeah, I mean the travel cost is funded by the government, so it's
Oh,
quite okay for me, I would say.
awesome. Then grab the opportunity. Opportunity never comes twice. I always tell this statement to all the people: if there is an opportunity, grab it because you never know it is coming again or not.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, I mean, my every travel like expenses have been funded government. Like, if I get any sort of vacation for Christmas, and my flight expenses, my visa process, all these things being clarified by the government, and I think that's a very good opportunity for me and most of the healthcare workers in Canada.
Indeed, it is. And Canadian government is really awesome. That's why very often when students come to my live stream and ask me which country would be the best for immigration, I always advise them apply for Canadian immigration.
Yeah, and also, I mean, there are no skilled migrant programs like we see in UK and Australia. So whatever the diploma you have, whatever the degree you have, you are qualified to apply for PR, which is very flexible for most of the students.
Right. Hmm. That's cool. Would you like to explain a little bit more Canadian immigration? How they can get help from the Canadian government.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of other opportunities. I would say, like, for example, if there's a student willing to enter to a university, they have two options, either go for college or for university. So college level education starts from tertiary level certificates until postgraduate diplomas, and the
Hmm.
tuition fees are very low, extremely low. It's just, cost you from $5,000 to $20,000, depending on the state or the city that you prefer to live in. But the university tuition fee extremely high. I would say it will be more than $30,000 in a well-reputed university, and even in some low class universities in cities like Toronto, it's going to take you more than $25,000. So in that case, it's quite expensive. So that's the main reason colleges has been a center of attraction for most of the South Asian students. And even getting a diploma, you're allowed to get your permanent residencies. So soon after you graduate from whatever the college or university it is, you'll be given a 2 years of postgraduate work permit. That means after you graduate, you're allowed to work in Canada for entire 2 years. Completing the 2 years, you can apply for your permanent residencies.
After
So
three
after
years.
applying for yeah, in Canada it's 2 years,
Oh, that's cool.
and yeah, after the PR, I mean after the work permit, you can apply for your PR, and you have to show some good progress. You have to face an exam, interview, and all these things, and you'll be eligible to apply for citizenship depending on the consequence. And applying for citizenship in some highly populated cities would be much more competitive. Like if someone is applying from Ontario, Alberta, or British Columbia, it might be a big challenge, but other states are very easy, like Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, Halifax. I mean, there are certain states in Canada which they don't have much of a population, so most of the migrants wish to migrate there to get their citizenship because there's no big competition, and government also prefer more people in less populated cities.
Okay. And I heard that there is a landed immigration for the nurses. Uh, do you know anything about that?
Exactly. Even our hospital is hiring a lot of migrant nurses because there's a very big demand for nurses here. Like even there's a very big demand for doctors in Canada. If someone is qualified with an MD degree and have almost 8 years of experience, a Canadian government will prefer giving you the opportunity by writing the license exam and with a high mark in OET. And I mean, for nurses too, I would say Canada is a very big country with a less population. That means there are a lot of vacancies available for healthcare sector, especially even in COVID pandemic. Canada struggled a lot just with the lack of medical resources, especially the healthcare workers. So right away, Canadian government had decided to give more opportunities for doctors, nurses, and pharmacists. So if any listeners are willing to migrate to Canada, I think it's good for you. If anyone having a medical degree, you can consider.
That's great information for the people who are listening to us silently. So I was thinking, Dr. Match, maybe when you have a time, message me. Maybe you can start the live stream about Canadian immigration. Then I can hop on and maybe we can discuss some of the ways anyone can apply to Canada. Okay, that will really
Hopefully, I
help.
think that's good for yeah. That's good for your teacher as well. Like you're teaching IELTS, and if your student are willing to migrate to Canada, then you have some information about to explain them.
That's right. I know most of the information about the UK, but I don't have much knowledge about the Canadian immigration.
Yeah, and Canada has become a center of attraction these days for a lot of migrants because of the opportunities that they're providing. And like during the COVID pandemic, Canadian government provided $5,000 each just for the expenses for international students, for every international student,
Every month.
just in case they lost, yeah, they lost their job, they lost everything after all, and just until they settled them down, government provided them the necessary facilities, food, clothing, accommodation, and transport for free. I mean, government is doing really good for most of the migrants out here.
That's great. That's really an exciting news for all the people who are considering to apply for the Canadian immigrations. So, dear viewers, listen to Dr. Mash and the way he's talking, the facilities, opportunities. Apply it. If you think that you're qualified to apply the immigration, don't wait for tomorrow. Apply today.
Hopefully, yeah. And make sure you're getting a band not less than 6.5.
You need to have IELTS exam certificate.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's I think general test. Yeah, not academic.
Yeah, for employment, then general test is the best option. But for healthcare setting, they only prefer academic IELTS or either OET.
Right. But as you mentioned, OET is a bit difficult than the academic IELTS exam, right?
Yeah, a little bit difficult. I mean, the marking scheme or the band descriptors are a little bit different, especially for speaking context. Like all the four modules I mentioned, like the fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation have been mentioned. But there are two extra things like diagnostic skills and basic pharmacology. So two extra things to be evaluated in your speaking. So in that case, most students find it a little complicated to prepare themselves.
Hmm. But however, if anyone wants to apply, they have to do it. There is no other alternative, either OET
There
or
is no other
the
option.
academic IELTS exam.
Exactly, yeah. There's only two options that I can go for. TOEFL was accepted for most ages, but recently TOEFL has been declining in Canada.
And what's the reason behind it?
The reason is like TOEFL is only being prepared for American standards. That's the main basic there. So, I mean, they are not being international. They are just only trying to offer most universities in America, in the United States. So that's going to be a clash for most of the international countries. I think Australia and US are the only countries who accept TOEFL most of the time. And there are a few UK universities too, and one or two, like there are a few Canadian universities too. I do believe like TOEFL will decline in Canada very soon due to its demand and the policies that they're putting forward.
Hmm. Okay, that's really cool to know about this. Thank you very much, Dr. Mash, for sharing all this information. Carry on. Still, you have
Thank you,
got
sir.
around 80 seconds before this lesson
Okay.
ends up.
Hopefully, I haven't purchased. I mean, I just advanced an apartment just near Cambridge yesterday, and yeah, it was really good.
Oh, how much the cost, if you don't mind?
Cost was almost it took me 1,500 euros per month.
Okay, is it a um, studio flat, single bedroom flat?
It's a single bedroom flat. Yeah, I'm just living alone, so they just told me that's the best option that I can ever get from.
1,050 euros, roughly, say 800 pounds, right?
Yeah, £800. Yeah,
Including all the bills
including the electricity and water bill, but I had to pay separately for the internet.
and gas as well. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Dr. Mash, for joining and sharing all of your such important information. Like
Thank you for having me, sir.
no worries. I'd like to see you later. And I think this is really an amazing, way you have just explained for our listeners. Okay, and
Hopefully, yeah.
dear
Thank you,
viewers,
sir.
thanks for joining me. I know that you can't make comments because you're not my subscriber. See you later, and you take care and bye.